Chat, the mono green machine. I think this is one of the decks that we're going to see pop back up more in Alchemy as the format matures. And that is, you know, people are always excited to play the new shiny things. They kind of forget the old things that are still good. So this archetype did have Azeka's Chariot get kind of a side grade, and this viewer submitted build of green is trying out some other 4s here. And Spirit is kind of a neat 4 to play, so it's a pretty big beater. It's going to be like a 4/4 or bigger in a lot of instances, and notably this draws any snow land out of your deck, which can include Faceless Haven, so it's like comes along with the second threat. And then Blessing of Frost, get X when one counters about creature you control, where X is their snow mana, and then you draw a card for each creature you control with power 4 or greater. I'm interested to see how this feels versus some other card advantage options. The obvious upside of this card being that it adds power to the board whilst generating card advantage seems potentially very good. We've got Tenacious Pup down here as a new direct-to-digital card, which rounds out our pack leader, giving us 8 good 1-drops. That's the big thing that this archetype's gaining coming into Alchemy from Standard is 8 good 1-drops as opposed to just 4 is a pretty big step up. It means our odds of having a 1-drop on 1 in a real 1, 2, 3, 4 curve is much higher. So let's go ahead and jump on into some games with this and see how it goes. Ever play the original Myst games? I did not. I don't know. I don't know what those are on, but we didn't have consoles when I was a child. It this is fine. It doesn't have one of those 8 1-drops like I said, but it smells pretty good. Oh, it was on floppy disks. Yeah, I wasn't quite a gamer at the age where that happened. I don't know what Demio is, Cordemi. Other Ranger class here is an okay pickup. Means we can like Brawl plus do this. So do I want to Old Growth here? Or do I want to Brawl, kill the voice? I'm gonna go ahead and do this. Attack first. I know my whole hand, it doesn't matter. Turn this into a captain here. This matchup might be genuinely hard for this archetype. I can see this matchup being a reason this deck struggles in this format. We were also on the draw this game, so feeling a little bit behind in the aggro mirror when you're on the draw also isn't that atypical. Level this, attack for 3, drop a 4/4. Hey, thanks for the 15 months, Matrix. Welcome back. Good morning, morning. Rumplesmith, thanks for the 19 months. By the way, for people that didn't hear the news, we're gonna have it open for signups later today, but the Glandia Open Series will be returning with Historic on January 8th, and we are going to be an official MTG Melee Premium Tournament organizer, which means that for that event, the winner will be awarded a Neo Set Championship invite. The other players that finish in the top 8 finishers of that tournament will also get an invite to the MTG qualifier weekend on Arena for February. Feeling kinda dead, fam. I think we're kind of just dead at this point, right? I definitely did not feel like a particularly close first game there. It was more than a little brutal to Stockboy. So this kills the Angel. It could also be a combat trick, so it's definitely coming in. Extra removal spell here comes in. I think this is just like an all Doomblades on deck matchup. Definitely don't need this kind of card advantage at the top end of our curve. Oh, also, speaking of Bard Narson, I talked to him, and he is going to be our guest commentator for the January event. So Jim's going to be joining me for the bulk of the coverage, but Brad's going to be like Cedric did for us in this last one and rotate through for a couple of matches in the middle. So Jim and I can each take a break. Maybe we trim the pack leaders here. This card gets outclassed relatively quickly in this matchup. I think I'd rather have the pup. I guess this gets bigger every time I cast spell. Would I rather have pack leader or pup? I think I'd rather have pup. All right, let's try this. Vigilance on pup is a good shout. Yeah, I've gotten the chance to work with a lot of great people doing coverage for the open stuff, but I think Jim meshes the best with me of all the people I've worked with. So, and the fact that we have a rotating third means we can still get a variety of people in, which is great. Crunch. You think we're gonna activate his belly screen at any point during this set, chat? Oh no, not my big belly boy. My vigilant troll, chat. Or as I like to call him, a member of Twitch chat. Ever vigilant, ready to troll. Much like Twitch chat, the trolls are endless. Man, the hits keep coming and they don't stop coming. At some point, we're gonna draw a removal spell, and it's gonna be great. It's all old growths all the way down. We got 4/4 tramplers for days, opponent. Oh no. Oh no. Much of the team has been banished to the Shadow Realm. Yikes! And just like that, they ended our entire career, chat. Ooh, 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 we're halfway there. Oh, lizard on a chair, take my hands. We'll make it, I swear. I think we're supposed to fight and then attack. I need to keep pressuring their life total. It activates at instant speed, right? Voice of the Blessed is getting ready for takeoff is the problem. Hey, chat. This is the kind of sequence you needed here. Think we have enough pressure at this point that we can keep this Valkyrie from being relevant, hopefully. And I think I'd rather kill Valkyrie than Skyclave here. Getting the 3/3 back, it doesn't really matter if they keep a 2/4. Let's go ahead and put the final chapter on this. Yeah, definitely a spot where this being a 3/3 is a super meaningful downgrade. I have loaded untapped. Thank you. In fact, I'm gonna ping my untapped person about that. I think I'm happy with how we boarded. I'm just run it back. We mulligan that, right? A lot of lands and no removal. This is not exciting, but fine. Yeah, so the untapped extension unfortunately doesn't auto-load itself when we're in the magic category. So when the Runeterra extension auto-loads itself, and then it unloads itself after we're done with Runeterra, Untap doesn't put itself back up, which is unfortunate. Zer, thanks for the 31 months. Welcome back. Golgari Kit, thanks for the follow. Good morning. That's a little bit sad. Okay, so land's a good pickup because it means that we can Mammoth here and still have a mana for the Aldergard. Valkyrie's gonna get to pop for a turn though here. I'm gonna theoretically have like a good Inquisitor captain here. Or just another Valkyrie. Yikes. Well, chat. Running hot. Easy. Is this what it's like to play mono green, chat? You just always have the Blizzard Brawls when you need them? Why didn't anybody tell me about this? This deck's so easy. What an easy game. Was your mistake game one? You didn't just draw all of the brawls, dude. 5-4 that drew A-Faceless Haven. Alright, fire is quite scary. One Tenacious Pupper. It's a shame we didn't have a choose your weapon there. We'd have killed them. Is this a Skyclave apparition? Sure. Yeah, hasty moose off the top would be real good. I think we just do this, right? Although I guess this voice just turns into another Skyclave. Maybe I'm just supposed to attack for 3 with the Faceless Haven there. So they're just gonna get another Skyclave for this old growth drill. The good news about this is if they're turning all of their like big threats into Skyclaves, like 1, our first removal spell that we draw is gonna be great, but 2, they're kind of just treading water. No, yeah, see, they're not treading water. This is yikes. Ah, baby girl! You come to see me?
I wanted to mute for a second.
Oh,
Then she
okay.
really wanted to.
I can mute for a second. Remember when I boarded most of the copies of this card out, chat? Pepperidge Farmer members. I think we're dead at this point. Needed another piece of action here. We've had what? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, they can't upgrade these into captains, at least. Yikes. Yep. This is where the game disappears. Honestly, I was... You know, this deck being popular is one of the big differences between regular standard and alchemy. And this matchup seems abysmal. Their ability to stabilize the board here is big. We just showed him an catch-up mechanic from here. And obviously we could have been slightly luckier that game, but like their draw also wasn't particularly exciting, right? So like our kind of average draw into their average draw did not seem like we had the closing power there. The Cleric's deck was somewhat sullen. I mean, that's just not true at all, Archivist. Like, we have a lot of standard data at this point, and the Cleric's deck literally does not post any results in standard. It's like, it was like a cute fringe thing to be doing that was largely underpowered, but... I mean, they didn't have Pyre for a lot of that game, BTY. Our deck also doesn't have a way to interact with Pyre. We'll bottom up Mammoth here. Let's get greedy. Let's do this on 1, into this on 2, and if we spike a land, we can still play Spirit on 3. I don't know. You think Dragons is a hard matchup for this? I feel like I could see the Dragons matchup being play draw dependent, but why do you think Dragons is a bad matchup for this archetype? Well, so the thing about putting a card like Valorous Stance in this deck, Martian, is you don't, and this is the thing that's always been kind of awkward about this archetype, is that you don't actually make the mana better, or the removal better in this deck by splashing a color. Because if you splash a color in this deck, you lose Blizzard Brawl. So you actually make this archetype have worse removal by putting another color into it. That's the reason it's always stayed mono green inside of standard. Also, in kind of peak Magic the Gathering fashion, we literally did not play against this Cleric's deck at all in 4 hours yesterday of playing Magic almost, while playing decks that all had good matchups into it. And then we queue up with this, and we just, like, hit it twice in a row with a deck that just, like, likely can't ever win this matchup. A fairly peak Magic the Gathering experience. Well, I mean, if I draw a snowland, I could fight one of these, but even then, we're just like, really not gonna survive, right? Okay, we board the same way we did last time. Board in the 5 extra removal spells for the what's it called? And honestly, I think I'm gonna leave in the Blessings of the Frost and maybe we do just trim all of these and put Snakeskin Veils in. What if this is going too low on threats? It's 26 threats. Might be slightly too low. This isn't really a threat. Let's try this. These 1-drops are just so bad here. I've been messing with Bird and I queued the Clerics 4 games in a row. Yeah. Trying out a burn deck, queued into a bunch of life game. I'm no longer trying out a burn deck. Well, for what it's worth, Clerics is the most popular best of 1 deck in Alchemy. So if we Ravenous Pursuit, you kill you, and then Mammoth becomes a 5/5 perpetually. Why would I want to give the Troll more power? They just exiled it. I'd much rather play the Troll and then wait and see if they can get another removal spell out of them. Like waiting on the removal spell paid off here. I probably should have left the 5/5 back. God. Hey, they're out of cards in hand, shit. Am I dead on board? I'm not dead on board. They're gonna draw another Skyclave Apparition. Banish or priest me, baby. Is your opinion on creators that make top 10 lists and such? Yeah, usually people ask permission to use my stuff. And I always tell people they can reuse my content in their content so long as they link back to my original content piece. So they have to block both of these, which means I'm getting a blocker back. Genix! Thank you for the tier 3 and thank you for the 32 months. Welcome back. Ever thought of making your own top 10 lists in the week? My YouTube content's just not popular enough to spend time editing things. The only reason I started doing things like the daily deck digest and like the Unite YouTube channel is because cutting up existing content is relatively easy. Blowy, thanks for the half a year. Welcome back. Only takes me less than half an hour to put together the daily deck digest stuff every day, which it's still, you know, it's an extra like, what's that, like three hours a week I spend doing stuff for my job, but some potential there. I guess we're doing this to start. This forces a chump block again. I can't attack with these because it says first strike, so. Yeah, we're definitely need to prioritize killing the Valkyrie here when they're at 1. Got a belly screen on top of our deck, chat. Ulvenwald Teletubby coming in hot. Illegal attacks! Your illegal attacks. There's a reasonable Mardu Dragon stack. I don't know that there's a super meaningful reason to play both black and white. What benefit do you see to playing both of those splashes at the same time? What problems being solved? Arena is a cop. Arena is a bastard sometimes, so that would make sense. Am I supposed to mulligan this otherwise reasonable hand because it just doesn't have a removal spell in this matchup? It's quite possible that I'm supposed to mulligan this hand because it doesn't have a removal spell. I'm gonna keep and die, but... I think we're also supposed to just play this as a land on 1 since it's my guaranteed 4th. I guess if I don't draw another land this turn, we could go like tap land level attack next turn. Yeah, it's pretty good stuff. Larry, avocado gory. We're gonna grab Odra here. Yes, we just do this. It feels like their engine is online though, and I just like can't interact with them from here. What are playable ways to destroy artifacts? Should we be playing some of that 2-mana wolf that sacrifices to destroy an artifact? That's probably the case. It definitely doesn't feel like we can ever beat an active pyre. Yeah, Liberator. JMP. Ain't that the good old days. The before times. Lord of the Pie, thanks for the follow. An L-Bun, I missed that one. Thanks for the follow, Latex. So they can, like, go grab a Valkyrie here, I guess? It's fine, we have a choose our weapon. Choose your weapon. I guess we're just chilling, right? Because we're, like, pretty obligated to kill this turn. But, like, killing this doesn't even do anything, right? Because, like, I kill it, they get back Cleric of Lifespond with Odra, and then... yeah, yikes. I guess I'm just doing this actually, right? Because killing this actually doesn't do anything. Broken Wings is a good shout. Yeah, maybe we're just supposed to play Broken Wings. I could buy that for $1. I'm boarding in choose your weapon, right? Like, obviously it's less cheeky than this because you can't use it as a pump spell, but yeah, and like now this is gonna be like they're gonna pod this into another Valkyrie, or just like have another Cleric in hand, and then this can no longer kill these, right? They just have another Aura. Yeah, we're super fucking dead. Yeah, we definitely need a way to interact with pod. I think these choose your weapon. I think in a world where Clerics is a deck that we care about, these choose your weapons are not playable. Yeah, the Cleric deck is one you need to respect. And this deck definitely does not do that as built. Let's try and change that up. I'm also not quite sure. Honestly, I think I'm gonna put 4 Crushing Canopies in here. Like, I'm not sure what these Cemetery Prowlers are really doing in my sideboard. Canopy? Doesn't Canopy hit artifacts? Is it only enchantments? I thought it was I thought it was artifact, enchantment, or flying creature. Oh my gosh, it doesn't destroy artifacts. Yikes. All right. Wait, this card and Crushing Canopy are illegal? Alright, sure. Alright, sure. You know what? Just don't question it, chat. Don't question it. I hate the infinite draft chaff kind of the same reprints like these. Like, why are these things different? And honestly, again, we've talked about this before too, but it really makes me, the people who are so upset that like alchemy changes impact historic, like limited changes impact constructed all the time. Like formats in Magic constantly impact each other in terms of how cards are designed. It's like nothing new to Magic. But like, we're really mad about this one for some reason. You can't open more than 4x of the same card unless it's different across sets. So like, yeah, I like, so what you're asking for there, Hunox, is again, like, Magic players seem to like to suggest dusting to solve problems that shouldn't, like, that just shouldn't exist, right? Like, the solution to you open more copies of the same card across different sets isn't implement a shitty predatory system like dusting. It's stop having players open more than 4 copies of the same card. The Mr. Lifeguard cashing in the Shillionaire. I believe you are the 55th Hoaglandia Shillionaire. Let's get that trickle down economy in action here. Yes, our next Shillionaire will now only have to spend 999,945 shillings. Incredibly affordable for the people at home now. Mr. Lifeguard, be sure you ping me in the subs Discord for your Shillionaire roll there, and then you can submit a Shillionaire deck list using the form on the site. Appreciate you watching a bunch over the last year or more. Can we draw land? Nailed it. Twitch never actually wanted me to change the name Shillionaire. Their automated system flagged it by mistake because they were changing and adjusting things. Yeah, I agree, Doji. Thanks for the tier 2 and thanks for the almost 2 years. Welcome back. Whoa! That must have been a misclick, right? Yeah, there's lots of ways to fix it, chat, that aren't implement a shitty system like dusting. Magic players are such an injured group of people that, like, they can't come up with ideas that are actually good most of the time. They're just like, please give me one of these other systems that will treat me poorly, instead of giving me something that would actually be good. Chat, you deserve good systems, not less bad systems. Yeah, that's true of most game design things in general. Players are good at finding problems and terrible at solving them. Also, like, it's not your job as a player to solve their problems, right? Like, there's this real late stage capitalism hellscape mindset of, if you're gonna complain about something, you need to be able to offer a solution to it. It's like, nah, fuck that noise. Wizards of the Coast doesn't pay you. Whatever game you're being critical of doesn't pay you. It's not your job to fix their game. I am, in fact, feeling rather dead. Gosh, that's so close to lethal. That's so close to lethal. Gene Pie, thanks for the follow. Yeah, definitely dead. Pup gains a life. Sure, so if the pup gains a life, I then also have to leave back... If the pup gains a life, I also have to leave back 2 blockers. And I can attack for 5. And maybe I get them on the backswing. Maybe. Yeah, we definitely had a shot here. I'm gonna apologize. Christy is sending me a bunch of messages that I'm trying to read and respond to while I'm sitting here playing, so we definitely had outs there. I'm gonna scapegoat her and blame my DMs. So we definitely want the Broken Wings. The question is, do I want the Ravenous Pursuits too? That might be overkill. These are hard removal. I need to trim a couple more things here. Trim the pups. It's fine. Do I want to... How greedy are we? Pretty greedy is always the answer. We could drop this on 1, but then I don't have anything to do on 3 with the current hand. Perfect. Never didn't have it. broken wings on orb? No, I'm on the place. Stop it. They're literally dying. They are at 12, chat. I'm not going to take a turn off to kill their accelerant. Yeah, tell me why your play is good. Why should I take a turn off of adding pressure to the board to do that? Did now I'm curious because obviously we timed out during the sideboard screen. Does it keep the sideboarding that I had for game 2 or did it reset us to default? I guess we'll find out if we draw a Crushing Canopy. I can't, oh, untap knows. Sweet, good. It did keep the game too. That's great. That's what we wanted. You've murdered my pup. Perfect. Drawing lands like a professional. Kazand, we do it? Yes, we can. Are you thinking about activating their creature land? That would be really good for us. Oh, I should technically sequence these in the other order, right? Because if they kill this in response, I don't get a counter now. Yeah, it's actually a pretty big mistake. This would be a 3-2 right now if I had sequenced the other way, which would mean I could Blizzard Brawl a 4-4. I can no longer. Decline this. Hey, you're supposed to sacrifice that. Probably need to sacrifice it this turn. Okay, that insulates us against their next dragon drop. Hey, Robin, thanks for the almost 2 years. Welcome back. I appreciate it. Yeah, I think we've hit garbage time at this point. Someone earlier said that they thought dragons was part of the reason this deck was pushed out. And I don't think that's true. We lost the first game that we could have won if I would have played a little bit better. I missed a line. And like, these other two games we felt pretty reasonably solid. Like, if anything, I think the dragons deck being popular makes this archetype probably a bit better. Yikes. Alright, so we're gonna... it's a pretty good one. Then the bugbear gets to kill us now. Any creature. Oh, chat. Oh, no. Oh, no. Magic the Gathering is a strategy game. I think the matchup is still good. Like, opponent had what? One out that they already had one copy of? Like, my statement stands. Like, my statement about the matchup isn't predicated on one specific result, chat. It's from a theory standpoint, the Dragons deck isn't blocking us profitably. Their removal doesn't line up into our large threats particularly great. And if you have it anywhere near average number of threats, it's fine. It's also worth noting, I believe, I have to go back and check the tape, but I missed a +1/+1 counter on one of my creatures, and I believe their first Shatter Skull did exactly enough to kill that there, right? So, like, if the opponent, like, draws threats, we had answers to their threats. They needed to draw their only removal spell in their deck at that point that killed our 6/6 was exactly another Shatter Skull Smash, and they already had one of those. Oh, they had an extra mana there. Okay, so that didn't matter. But yeah, especially with Crushing Canopies out of the sideboard. Ooh, yeah, that's true. I'd have had another draw step if I would have I clicked the wrong button. The Town Razor interface is actually trash. I definitely intended to sacrifice the land a turn before I did. Thanks for the follow, O Kings. Welcome to the channel. Nice Smith, thanks for the 11 months. I don't know. I'm just gonna torpedo your phrasing there, Nice Smith. It's so fucking weird to me that people would stop playing Arena after Alchemy. Like, to make it about Alchemy and to not make it about the fact that you weren't enjoying the other formats is such a weird way to phrase it. Because, like, I don't fault anyone for, like, backing off of Arena if, like, you're not enjoying Standard or Historic or whatever other format you were playing. But, like, Alchemy existing didn't stop you from playing Magic Arena the way you played it before Alchemy existed. Alchemy just added another thing to Magic Arena. I don't know. It's one of those things where, like, people are just like, well, how did it break the camel? Yeah, like, I don't understand how it could be the straw that broke the camel's back for people, because it literally just, like, you could just do whatever you were currently doing still. But Jeff, I played Historic, and Alchemy, like, looked sideways at Historic and added a new playable card to Historic. Yeah, I guess. I guess it added Inquisitor Captain to Historic. I had someone tell me they were upset that Alchemy was gonna make Historic more expensive because of the new card additions, and I was like, they added one more playable rare to Historic, right? Like, Inquisitor Captain is, like, the one card that's seeing play. Like, again, like, I don't fault people for stopping playing things if you're not enjoying them. You should play games for fun. It's just so weird to me how many people are just like, Alchemy, you're going under the bus is the reason why I'm doing this. It's like, wow, Alchemy didn't really cause you harm. Cue Hamilton soundtrack, you'll be back. No one quits chat, they just stopped taking bumps for a little while. Yeah, I think that's definitely it. Oof, ouch. It's like they needed a new justification, which is fine. If it's gonna help people have healthier relationships with their games, that's an overall good thing. So the historic complaining is like slightly more valid than most, but it's also just largely bullshit because like from a technically correct standpoint, sure, but from a look at what's actually happened in historic and like what people are playing, it's like, well, the reality doesn't match your theoretical purity that you're complaining about. Yeah, you still don't have wild cards for memory lapse. But remember, it's Alchemy's fault. Alchemy ruined the arena economy. Oh, man. And again, just so my position is clear, chat, the Magic Arena economy is anti-consumer and trash. It's just not Alchemy's fault that it's anti-consumer and trash. You know, Alchemy's not to be blamed for the sins of other decisions. I just want people to point the blame where it belongs. Easy block. Do you find key to the archive overtuned? Chat. Okay, chat. I tend to shy away from strong statements, but any news source or content things that you hear complaining about the 4-mana card that doesn't impact the board the turn you play it, you should stop getting your Magic news from those people. That's actually not the first complaint I've heard about Key to the Archive, but chat, Key to the Archive it might be a playable card. There's a chance that that card is playable, but it is a 4-mana card that 1, doesn't even draw a card, and 2, it doesn't impact the board the turn you play it. It really could not be more okay. We're kind of losing this race, huh? Are we? Two drop my attack, or am I blocking? I heard complaints about it because you can play banned archive cards. Okay, you want to take most of the banned archive cards are pretty much all okay when they cost +4 mana. 6 mana Demonic Tutor, pretty a-okay. 9 mana Time Walk, more mana than Aldrin's Epiphany, chat. You could just play Aldrin's Epiphany for 7 mana. Ooh, that's a pretty good one. This is 10. If we double block here, I have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 on the backswing. Feels like we're losing this race. dodge a dragon, we can dodge a ball. Oh, that'll do big. That'll do. Yeah, I probably needed to play more defensively there. It's technically 7 mana because key ramps for 2. It's not, though, because you had to pay 4 mana up front on the key. And you had to survive a turn. Like, you're right in the strictly correct sense. It's not the same as just adding plus 4 mana, but, like, it's also those cards are significantly worse than printed at face value. I couldn't keep one more 2/2 Jelly Bean. I was dead. They were, I blocked a 5/4. I couldn't save either of my 2/2s. So you're right if I could have gotten out of that with my whole board, but they were attacking for 10. And I was at 10. I actually know that we're sideboarding here. Maybe it's like some Snakeskin Veils as a combat trick. Blessing the Frost seems a little slow. Yeah, you could like also just, yeah, you could also just like destroy the key, and then there's a good chance they can't cast the archive card they drew. Like, key to the archive really couldn't be more fair. Yeah, I don't know. Key making people play the otherwise unplayable Teferi is probably a plus for key, not a negative. I'll also point out that both myself and Crokies spent time playing with the blue-white control deck, and both of us cut the stupid key Teferi package by the end of the set. After an hour of playing with it, we were like, these cards suck, and we'd rather put other good cards in the deck instead. Yeah, Key's getting complaints instead of Hull Breaker or Lear because they're the new cards. Chat, I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. Andrew Cuneo did well with it, or Gabriel Nassif did well with it, is never a defense of me saying this card fucking sucks. Chat, Andrew Cuneo and Gabriel Nassif would play your constructed deck with the draft deck and probably put you in the ground half of the time. They're a significantly better Magic player than you and I. They are powerful wizards on a different level than the rest of us. Thoughts on Discover the Formula. It's a sweet card. My thoughts on Discover the Formula are it didn't really put up any results in our Hoaglandia tournament or the other early tournament, and I don't think it's put up any results on Untapped data so far either, right? I'm gonna double check and make sure it hasn't changed since yesterday. Massacred my boy Chip. I don't feel bad when they have another Brittle Blast, but I'm just not winning this race here. I need to play defense, I think. I am largely of the opinion that if you think formula is too good, the problem isn't actually formula, it's Hull Breacher and the other thing. Hull Breaker and Lear. God, I fucking hate Magic players. Get out of here. This is what a Magic player thinks is a gotcha. At one point, Croaky said this removal spell was unplayable, and then the format changed, and he started playing it in this new format that had different context. He's a fraud and a liar and a bad Magic player. Like, come on, chat. The power level of cards is contextual in the format. Pointing out that someone changed their opinion on a card when a format changed isn't a gotcha for them. It shows how fucking stupid you are because you don't understand the basics of evaluating cards in card games. That's what good players do. Good players reevaluate cards that they previously had low opinions of when the format changes. You want to be a better player? Do stuff like that. Take a step back and reassess what you know when a format evolves and changes. Yikes. Yikes. Yeah. Thanks for the follow, Leo. And that for reference, by the way, chat, that's kind of an argument that can apply to more than just Magic. I know it's not popular to do in 2021, but when you are presented with new information and circumstances change, you should reevaluate your opinion on that situation based on the new information that has been presented to you. That's a good thing. Smart people look at the facts. Like, just to, you know, let's be political and talk about science for a minute. There's a lot of assholes and bad faith people that are like, you know, Dr. Fauci is a fraud because his position has changed as we've learned new things about COVID as developments have happened. And it's like, no, that's just how science works, chat. That's how learning works. Smart people, when presented with new information that contradicts their view, don't double down on their view. They examine that information and ask themselves, should my position on this thing change based on the new information that I've gained? And that applies to real life, and it applies to card games too. You know? What is good and bad is different depending on everything else around it, right? As far as this deck goes, I don't know. I was pretty whelmed by this. We had a lot of close games in there. Like, actual record aside, it just didn't feel like what this deck was doing was inherently powerful. I think you're probably close to maybe a little bit ahead against the red decks with an average draw, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like I felt like the 1-drops were really mediocre. I was expecting these to feel better than they were. Yeah, I think like part of the appeal of what this deck was doing was being a little bit bigger, and all of these felt pretty trash in every game that I drew them. And you know, honestly, if you want to play mono green, a direction probably worth considering is Renin 7 good in this format again? Like, if Dragons is a real deck, Renin 7 stock goes up, right? Like, it's a card that like blocks dragons and like generates value as things go a little bit long. And like Fading Hope is less popular in this format. Like, there's not zero Fading Hope, but there's a lot less Fading Hope in this format than we have in Standard, right? Which is another reason that Renin 7 got pushed out. So I feel like if I were to want to poke at this again. I kind of feel like I'd want to go back and look at like the early iterations of mono green from the previous standard that were like playing things like Ren. Miles, thanks for the 7 months. I appreciate it. Welcome back.